I am aware this is different from my usual videos, but I still think this is an interesting topic. By now, I think you should know what an iceberg is, so I don't think I need to give an introduction. But today I'm going to be tackling the iceberg of everyone's favorite adult-oriented blog. This iceberg was created by Wilfred Cthulhu, and he also explains every layer separately on his channel. So I'll leave a link to his channel down below. But without further ado, let's get started. Too Many Cooks is basically one of those weird infomercial skits that Adult Swim would play around 4 a.m. in the morning. It's really avant-garde, and I don't want to give out any spoilers because I do recommend it. Go watch it. It's really funny and it's weird. Seth Rogen's phone number. So, supposedly on the Eric Andre show, Seth Rogen's phone number was given out by Eric Andre. That's basically about it. Unedited footage of a bear. This is another infomercial skit. It starts with unedited footage of a bear and then moves on to fake ad for medicine, I think? I don't know. But then spirals into a sane horror movie. So basically, it's just another infomercial skit like Too Many Cooks. I'll explain another infomercial skit later on, as these are really interesting. Again, go watch it. It's really cool. Boston Moon and Night Panic. This one is really stupid. And I'll make it quick because I don't want to talk about this one. Basically, in Boston, many idiots think that these LED moon nights are actual bombs, and Cartoon Network had to pay $2 million in damages for the incident. And Adult Swim manager would step down after the incident. All for advertising the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. So yeah, really stupid move from those guys in Boston. But what am I to know? The Hershey Holler Bumps. I'm not going to talk about too much about this one because I don't know if its existence. But the Hershey Holler is an Adult Swim live action series that looks kind of creepy, to say the least. I'm pretty sure people know about these bumpers, but bumps, but I don't know if they exist or not. All Kids Out of the Pool refers to Adult Swim's old bumpers, which features a guy yelling, "All kids out of the pool!" It's kind of funny, and it brings back a lot of nostalgia for all the Adult Swim fans. So, yeah. Toonami is back. So, basically, Toonami is a block that aired on Cartoon Network starting in 1997, or 1998, I think. It's a really good block, featuring a lot of anime. And y'all know I love anime. Just check out my TikTok account if you want to know why. Anyways, around 2008, Toonami would end their programming block on Cartoon Network due to low ratings. But we'll come back on April Fool's Day of 2012 for, honestly, I have no clue. But it did come back for Adult Swim, so I don't know why it was brought back. Except for popular demand. So, yeah. The Dinosaur Enemy is probably Adult Swim's most popular bumper. It would be featured at the end of every Adult Swim broadcast from 2005 to 2010. And I think the reason why people think this is creepy is because of how it looks. I don't think it's creepy, honestly, but I can understand why people are creeped out by it. I'm going to talk about more about this bumper later on, so stay tuned. Well, we're done with the sky. Let's move on to the tip. Space Ghost Coast to Coast and the Brack Show are original programming. Air before Adult Swim. So basically, Space Ghost Coast to Coast and the Brack Show air before Adult Swim, which doesn't make sense because other shows also premiere before Adult Swim, like C-Lab 2021, Harvey Birdman Attorney Outlaw, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So can't really see the reason behind this one. Because Space Ghost Coast to Coast and the Brack Show aren't the only shows that air before Adult Swim. The True Craft Punk. So the Craft Punk is the DJ on the Eric Andre show. People don't know who's in that costume. It could be Eric Andre, it could be somebody else. I still don't know who's in that costume, and I honestly don't care. Moving on. Space Dandy is original programming. This literally makes no sense because there is literally no evidence of Space Dandy's original programming. This is literally a production from Funimation, but they were not bought off by Adult Swim. However, Cowboy Bebop, I think, is an original property from Adult Swim, even though it's from Funimation too, and it's an anime made by the same guys who made Space Dandy. So this makes no sense. Space Dandy is not an original program for Adult Swim. Moving on. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is basically the time that Adult Swim would air some of its weird infomercials and weird shows, like Off the Air and Infomercials, and Too Many Cooks, unedited footage of a bear, and some of their pilots as well. So, yeah. 4 a.m. is a pretty fun time for Adult Swim, if I must say. And also a weird time. Clark. Another creepy Adult Swim bumper. Although I think this is more creepy than The Dines Your Enemy, I don't think it's that creepy either. Although it features some flamingo being eaten by this pink giant, with creepy noises added to the bumper. I'll talk about more about these creepy bumpers later on, but yeah, Clark is kind of weird. But I do like it nonetheless. Joe Pera, grocery store food list 1945.com. So, for those who don't know who Joe Pera is, Joe Pera has a show on Adult Swim called Joe Pera Talks With You, and in one of the episodes, he was at the grocery store and told us to go to Joe Pera, grocery store food list 1945.com, which basically redirects you to this. It's just a fun little Easter egg. You can just put random things on the grocery list. And yeah, there's also a link to Joe Pera's Adult Swim page too. So yeah, a fun Easter egg. Waiting for the next season of blank. So this is referring to the fact that some fans had to wait for years for another season of some of their favorite shows, like the Venture Brothers and the Eric Andre Show. There were actually a few years in between seasons 5 and 6 of those shows. So pretty cool if you ask me, and it's no wonder that Adult Swim has long hiatuses for some of their cartoons. Carl in GTA 5. So in GTA 5, there's this radio station, and Carl actually picks up into the main station and tells them to turn off everything they're playing. It's actually pretty funny, and if you guys want to find out for yourselves, go look it up on YouTube. It's awesome. Rude removal. This is an episode of Dexter's Laboratory where Dexter and Dee Dee removes their rude selves, and so that they can become more nicer. This episode was banned due to its inappropriate use of swear words, and even the title card, which features Dee Dee sticking up the finger and Dexter mooning at us. Thankfully, I have censored both parts of the title card, and the episode was made in 1997, but wouldn't see the light of day until 2013 when Adult Swim uploaded it to their website. I like the episode, I just don't think it was suitable for Cartoon Network at the time. It shows. Adventure Time airings. So what it's saying is that Adventure Time aired for a few weeks on Adult Swim, and it must have not done well because they took that down quick. Which makes sense because it doesn't really match up the rest of their content, despite Adventure Time being rated TV PG. And I've actually seen these airings before as well, so it's kind of cool they included it in this iceberg. Well, it's time to go underwater. We're heading down to the middle of the iceberg. Contact Ghost Planet. So at the end of every episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, there would be a message saying Contact Ghost Planet with some contact information. I didn't call any of these numbers. However, I do know that one of these numbers work, and a YouTuber named Dantavius, who also made an Adult Swim Iceberg video, I'll leave a link to his channel down below, he did call one of these numbers, and some dude named Ron picked up, and he's saying he's tired of little children calling his phone all the time. Chill out, Ron. Revive Futurama and Family Guy. So, what this is saying that Futurama and Family Guy were both shows on Fox. Family Guy got canceled after its 3 seasons, but then Adult Swim picked up the series to next to nothing and reran the heck out of it. It later became the most popular show on the block, and Fox was like, hey, maybe we should try this out again, and got renewed for a 4th season, and it's still going on today. Same thing with Futurama. It got canceled on Fox, but later was added as reruns on Adult Swim. So, yeah. I have never seen these shows on Fox, except for Family Guy. However, I have seen Family Guy on Adult Swim, except for Futurama. I did not see Futurama on Adult Swim. Instead, I saw it on Comedy Central. So, yeah. Pretty simple. Age rating changes overnight. I don't know what this is saying. All I know is that maybe Adult Swim changes its age rating overnight, as well, these are the 2 main ratings Adult Swim would have on their block. And including that LSV and you know the jazz. So yeah, I don't understand the logic behind this, but it's interesting. Pilots. This is probably my favorite addition to the Iceberg, as this features basically all of the pilots that Adult Swim would make for their content, like Welcome to Eltingville and Less Fish. I think it's only talking about the ones that weren't picked up though, so yeah. I would also include Freaknik, but honestly, that one was picked up as only like a TV movie, so yeah. Amazing art style versus crap art style. I'll just say right now, I think it's mostly crap art style that took the dub on this one. But Adult Swim shows can have an amazing art style like Black Dynamite and the Boondocks, to having a crap art style like 12 Ounce Mouse, Home Movies, and Squidbillies. But there's not really much I can really say about this one. I think Rick and Morty's in between with these two. But yeah. I think Adult Swim shows mostly use a crap art style because, well, they're supposed to be like low budget adult cartoons, I guess. And plus, most of the Adult Swim shows back in the day were really low budget, like C-Lab 2021 and Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law. Space Ghost Coast to Coast was also limited. So, yeah. It's pretty easy to say that crap art style kind of took the dub on this one. American Dad is technically owned by Adult Swim now. This is interesting. So, American Dad is a show on Fox. It was later bought off by TBS. TBS is owned by Warner, which owns both Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. So, by the transatlantic property, Adult Swim technically owned American Dad. Aqua Teen Hunger Force Space Ghost Coast to Coast Designs. This marks the first appearance of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which aired in the episode Baffler Meal on Space Ghost Coast to Coast, with different designs, with Frylock having arms and legs, and Master Shake having a different face. Meatwad pretty much looks the same though, but only having a slightly different look. I thought Baffler Meal was a fun episode, and I did think this would mark the first appearance of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And many people did as well, as it became the most long-running show on Adult Swim before Robot Chicken and Adventure Brothers took the title away. So, yeah. Black Dynamite Juxtapose Magazine. I've never heard of Juxtapose magazine in my entire life. I'm not a magazine aficionado or anything. All I know is that they're a popular cultural magazine from the 2010s. And around the early 2010s, they had this really cool cover featuring Black Dynamite. It's a shame the show didn't really do that well coming to this cover, as it only lasted for 2 seasons and was not that popular, even though the show looked amazing. Well, we're done with this layer. Now it's time to move on to the middle of the iceberg. Hanna-Barbera assets and other shows. This basically means that Adult Swim shows use different assets from older Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like with Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which uses old backgrounds from Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And obviously there's Sea Life 2021, Harvey Birdman, Turning It Law, and Space Ghost to the Coast, as all those shows use Hanna-Barbera assets. Aqua Teen Hunger Force made a plot to be aired. This is interesting, as for the first few episodes of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they had to use a made-up plot to get greenlit onto Cartoon Network. It worked, and they finally got to do what they wanted to do, which brings joy to my heart, homie. I love this show, and I'm glad it became the longest-running show on Adult Swim, as the made-up plot made my heart burst, as it was so awesome. This House Has People in It rabbit hole. This House Has People in It is another interstitial Adult Swim aired, but the rabbit hole part mostly comes from the fact that there's a lot to unpack in this video. Go watch Nightmind's an hour-long video explaining This House Has People in It. It's really good. Anyways, This House Has People in It is just a suburban family living normal life. But obviously, since this is Adult Swim, the infomercial gets weirder, as one of the house members just sinks through the floor. It's pretty creepy. And there's a lot to unpack about this video as well. Again, watch Nightmind's hour-long video on This House Has People in It. Go watch it. The Boondocks Season 4 never happened. This is really simple and stupid. Basically, many people didn't know that the Boondocks had a 4th season. I already knew that from the beginning. And many people did not like the season because Aaron Magruder was not involved with it at all. So, naturally, it was bad. And this also goes for the next entry. Rick and Morty Season 2 ended. Well, basically, Rick and Morty ended after Season 2. This is simple. Many people don't like Seasons 3, 4, and 5 of Rick and Morty, so they want to pretend that Rick and Morty ended after 2 seasons. And the 2 seasons of Rick and Morty were great, so it's unsurprising that this would happen. In fact, I only hated Season 3 of Rick and Morty. Season 4 and 5 got back on track, so yeah. Don't have much to say about this one. Space Ghost Coast to Coast interview process. So this one is interesting, as they would basically interview the celebrity, but would give them an insanely different question instead of ones that they're normally used to answer, which is really weird, but also brings joy to my heart. I'm glad I gave Space Ghost Coast to Coast a chance when I was younger. It was funny! Pee-wee's Playhouse. I am shocked this is on the Iceberg. I never watched Pee-wee's Playhouse, but honestly, I am insanely shocked that Pee-wee's Playhouse actually managed to air on Adult Swim. Like, they weren't even owned by Adult Swim anyway. They were syndicated, I guess? I don't know. But that is insanely weird to see that this, of all things, would air on Adult Swim. Well, we're done with that. Now it's time to go deeper into the iceberg. Boo Boo Runs Wild. If the art style looks familiar to you, yes, this was made by the same creator of Ren and Stimpy. This short basically just features Boo Boo going insane and just doing stuff. I haven't seen the short personally, but this was actually a part of a cartoon called Ranger Smith, a cartoon created by John Kay that would air on Adult Swim occasionally. I don't think people know about the show. The only person I know that's involved that knows about the show is OJ Diesel, who put it on his Adult Swim tier list. So, yeah, kind of self-explanatory, but yeah, Adult Swim would air this for every few years, and it looks kind of creepy. But it's not K. What are you gonna expect? Falcon Punch bumper. So apparently this guy swears he saw a Falcon Punch bumper on Adult Swim. I never seen it myself personally, and I trust Wilfred. I'm sure this is some Mandela effect thing, but this could exist. We'll never know. Space Ghost Coast to Coast 1966 added laugh track. So during episodes of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, they would also play footage of the original Space Ghost cartoon, but would also add a laugh track in between the series. It's kind of funny, to be honest. So yeah, I have not much to say about this one, as I never watched the original Space Ghost. I only know about Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Staying up to watch Full Metal Alchemist. So, if you're not a weeb and don't know what FMA is, I'll just give a little synopsis about the show. It stars, well, this blonde kid right here named Ed and his robot friend, as they basically just do alchemist stuff. Honestly, I never watched the show, but I am reading the manga, so I do know a little bit about it. Basically, people just do stuff, staying up late to watch FMA. Kind of simple. Randomly discovering FLCL. FLCL, aka Fooly Cooly, is another anime that aired on Adult Swim. They would air it a few years, honestly. It looks insanely weird, but it does have a cult following. I never watched it though, because it looks kind of disgusting. Up next, Futurama bumper on Toonami. I don't know if this one exists either. This one is definitely interesting, as this is basically supposed to be another Futurama bumper. Well, it's another Futurama-related thing, but it's supposed to be a bumper that premiered on Toonami. I don't think this one exists either, as I have no knowledge of Futurama being aired on Toonami, nor do I have memories of watching it on Adult Swim, so I can't identify its existence. But I do trust Wilfred. I do think he's a stand-up guy, so hopefully this one exists. Unnerving bumpers. Well, I'm coming back to the bumpers, baby. And, yeah. Basically, Adult Swim has some pretty unnerving bumpers, like the Don's Your Enemy and Clark. But there are also some, like, Facelift. Yeah, I can understand why these are unnerving now, after watching Facelift. Go watch it. Adult Swim has it up on their website. I'm not gonna review footage of it. Next. Well, we're done with this bumper. Now it's time to go to the edge of the iceberg. Pictures of shows that ended up on Cartoon Network. So, basically, some Cartoon Network shows were actually originated to be aired on Adult Swim, but were later passed off the Cartoon Network. The Problem Solvers and Class of 3000 were a few examples of this. And I can see why. The Problem Solvers, as disgusting as the show is, it has an art style that is straight up look like in Adult Swim. And Class of 3000 and regular show have similar jokes that could be used for Adult Swim as well. Regular show was also pitched to Adult Swim, which I can see why, mostly because some of the humor is in line with some of their other programming. But I think regular show fits better on Adult Swim. I never watched Class of 3000 though, and the Problem Solvers is just bad. Moving on. Aqua Teen Hunger Force ended very quietly. Basically what it's saying is that Aqua Teen Hunger Force got canceled back in 2015, and what happened was the show ended on the internet instead of on TV. The last episode was supposed to be titled The last story forever for real this time. We actually mean it. Was released as a series finale, but it's actually not the series finale because the real finale is called The Greatest Story Ever Told and it was released on Adult Swim's website. So yeah, terrible send-off to one of the best cartoons of all time. Share memories of watching Adult Swim in 2000. So basically some 90s kids remember watching Adult Swim in the 2000s. I was not born in the 90s, so I don't have much to say about this one. Next. Wow, that was insanely quick. Well, time to move on to the next one, as we're getting really deep. This is where the burglar fish and the sharp tail fish live. We're that deep now. Classic Adult Swim revival run. So basically what this is saying is that Adult Swim had a revival run that would air on Sundays, where they would show bumpers from the All Kids Out of the Pool era, as well as some shows from the All Kids Out of the Pool era, like C-Lab 2021, Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and The Brack Show. I don't remember seeing this, but it looks interesting. I think I've seen this on the schedule, though, when I was scrolling through Cartoon Network, so maybe this exists. I just don't remember it, though. Lost April Fool's footage. So, basically, everyone knows about the April Fool's prank that happened last year, Adult Swim Junior, but there's actually some lost Adult Swim April Fool's footage. The only ones available I actually have no clue of. The only ones that I think are available are just a short clip from the 2004 one with Bender and Fry having mustaches, and obviously Adult Swim Junior, as we all know. So yeah, the Dawn is Your Enemy myths and fan creations. So there's actually a lot of creepypastas based on The Dawn is Your Enemy, and I'm finally coming back to it. I'm not a fan of creepypastas, so I'm not gonna really read about it. All I know is that there are some edited footage of The Dawn is Your Enemy, which includes the eyes winking at you, as well as screaming at it in the background. Again, it's not that creepy, but I do know that it can be unsettling. Melancholic feelings from watching Adult Swim. I get a really comfortable melancholy feeling from watching Adult Swim, and I can understand why. Many people have melancholic feelings from watching Adult Swim a lot. So, yeah. I have this comfortable melancholy, like some others. Like, I feel insanely comfortable when watching Adult Swim. I don't get uncomfortable in any sort of way. I just want to sit back and just watch some of my favorite cartoons. So, yeah. Metalocalypse and Rugrats are the same show. So, this one is probably the most interesting in this entire iceberg. As, what's this saying is that Metalocalypse and Rugrats are the same show because of the same concept. 5 idiots using their imagination to get to places. Yep, basically the same thing. And a lot of jokes shoehorned in. So, yeah. Weird that this is on the iceberg, but really interesting and simple. Well, it's time for the final layer in the iceberg. This is gonna be awesome. Sunday Pants is more suited for Adult Swim. So, Sunday Pants is supposed to be an anthology series on Cartoon Network that basically is just for stoners. It features a lot of shorts that have no context or proper reason, like Monstories and Bernard the Bear. You can tell this show is made more suitable for Adult Swim. Not only that, but the show is rated TV PG and was Cartoon Network's second rated TV PG show, right next to Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I would probably consider it its first, though, mostly because, well, Space Ghost is more suited for Adult Swim, but Sunday Pants never aired on Adult Swim. It's only a Cartoon Network original, but it only aired on It only aired at 9:30 p.m. right before Adult Swim would start. My guess is that Adult Swim didn't have enough room to put this in their lineup, so they just had it air insanely close to Adult Swim as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much to say about it, but I do like Sunday Pants. It's a funny show. The show does have swearing, though, which is kind of shocking. Adult Swim is an SCP. Ooh, this is weird. But if you don't know what an SCP is, Google that and get back to me, because this is interesting. Due to the melancholic feelings we have while watching Adult Swim, as well as some of the shows they play and the bumpers, it is safe to say that Adult Swim can be classified as an SCP, but that doesn't really exist. Well, SCP doesn't really exist unless... Nah, I'm joking. Except... I'm kidding. But let's move on. Rick and Morty may do what SpongeBob did to Nickelodeon on accident. For those who don't know, I hate SpongeBob. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not a fan of SpongeBob. I think it's a creepy show with a creepy intro. That's all I can say. Anyways, we all know that Nickelodeon kept milking the heck out of SpongeBob. And I'm pretty sure Adult Swim may do the same thing to Rick and Morty. We don't know, though, for sure. But we'll see what happens. Every viewing of Adult Swim is personalized. So, this is the final entry in the iceberg. And what this is saying is that many people have experienced things on Adult Swim that no other person has. Like, this dude says he has seen a Pirates of the Caribbean sneak peek on here, as well as that Falcon Punch bumper that he talked about. So, yeah, some people know a lot, as well as having Pee-wee's Playhouse on Adult Swim. That was shocking. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that almost every viewing of Adult Swim is personalized. You may not know what you find. And that's basically the magic of Adult Swim for you. Well, that's the iceberg. This was a long video. Please don't ask me to do another iceberg chart, as I feel like one is enough for me to do. But still, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was honestly really fun looking into this. And once again, special shout out to Wilfred Cthulhu for creating the iceberg chart. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.